The Normandy landings on June 6, 1944, known as D-Day, marked the largest amphibious invasion in history and became a decisive turning point in World War II. Operation Overlord, as it was codenamed, opened the Western Front and began the liberation of Nazi-occupied Europe. Planning for the invasion took over 2 years and involved the United States, the United Kingdom, Canada, and other allied nations. In preparation, German forces fortified the Atlantic Wall, a massive system of coastal defenses along France's shoreline. Hitler and his generals expected the invasion to come at the Pas de Calais, the narrowest point of the English Channel. The Allies exploited this by launching Operation Fortitude, a grand deception campaign that convinced the Germans an attack would strike there. On the German side, overall command on the Western Front was held by Field Marshal Gerd von Rundstedt, while Field Marshal Erwin Rommel, transferred from North Africa in 1943, was in charge of coastal defenses in Normandy. Rommel insisted on stopping the invasion at the beaches, knowing it would be impossible to halt Allied forces once they broke inland. Von Rundstedt, however, favored holding tank reserves further back for a counterattack once the direction of the main assault became clear. Disagreements between commanders, combined with Hitler's interference, delayed critical responses during the invasion. The operation began overnight between June 5th and 6th, with over 24,000 British, American, and Canadian paratroopers dropped behind enemy lines to secure bridges and road junctions and delay German reinforcements. At dawn, the naval phase commenced. Allied forces landed on 5 beaches: Utah and Omaha, U.S., Golden Sword, British, and Juno, Canadian and British, supported by over 5,000 ships and about 11,000 aircraft. The fiercest fighting occurred at Omaha Beach, where U.S. troops faced strong resistance and difficult terrain, suffering over 2,000 casualties in just a few hours. Despite fierce German resistance, the Allies secured all 5 beachheads by nightfall. Over the following weeks, they expanded their positions, capturing Cherbourg, Caen, and Saint-Lô, and by August 25th liberated Paris. Allied casualties on D-Day totaled around 10,000 to 12,000, with over 4,000 killed. German losses were estimated at up to 9,000. The German forces in the region consisted of roughly 50 divisions, including armored units, though only a portion were positioned near the actual landing zones on June 6th. The Normandy invasion showcased the Allies' ability to coordinate massive land, sea, and air operations, supported by superior logistics and intelligence. Internal disputes and delays in the German command structure worked in the Allies' favor. Rommel, caught off guard by the weather and believing an invasion unlikely that day, was in Germany on leave. Hitler, convinced the attack was a diversion, refused to release critical tank divisions in time. These delays proved fatal. Operation Overlord's success marked a turning point in the war. Germany was soon trapped between advancing forces from the west and the Soviet Red Army from the east. The landing symbolized Allied resolve and marked the beginning of the end for Nazi rule in Europe.